So why do we need an HOA? This is why. This is why. Okay, so what's the garbage truck gonna do when they come across this situation? I mean, can he even load this? Can he even empty this trash without it falling all over the place? And I tell you what, they'll charge us more. They'll say, "Hey, that was too full. That was too much of a disaster." So they'll charge us more for this. And there's a lot of room in that dumpster that's not being used because they didn't break things down. So yeah, people in the community would just come and throw stuff like that. That couch, got to get rid of that couch. That's not going to fit in the dumpster. All that stuff. Say, I'm gonna organize that. I'm gonna, you know, pack as much in as I can, break it down. There's even a bathtub here. Absolutely ridiculous. People that did some construction, destruction, they left that there. So that, yeah, that's what people do in this community. So if there's no HOA, how's that going to get taken care of? The city's not going to take care of that. They're not going to come out here and do that. So that's why we need an HOA. As a matter of fact, I'll probably get another dumpster, put it down that street in that corner over there. That corner will accept another dumpster. But yeah, we need another one. You can see and this is a week. It's a week worth of stuff. So you can see how bad it can get. So that is why we have an HOA. I don't know why you guys have an HOA, but it might be for similar reasons. There we are. Okay, here I am. I decided to come and check on the dumpster this morning because it's the day after Thanksgiving, and I thought that the dumpster would come today instead of yesterday. And sure enough, the trash is still there. I need to fix all that. But what is interesting is there was a bathtub right there. Yesterday there was a whole bathtub here, and now it's gone. Someone came and took that bathtub. Oh wow. You know, one thing about this area is that if you leave stuff out, stuff that you think is just not useful anymore, a lot of people will come, a lot of times they'll come and take it. They will come and take it and do something with it. There are a lot of resourceful people here around here who reuse stuff. I doubt someone will come and take this couch because it's pretty gnarly. No one's gonna take this couch. But someone definitely came and took, it was like a fiberglass tub, and it's gone. It's gone. All this debris was inside the tub. They dumped that out. So, well, at least now I don't have to do something with the tub. I was thinking, I guess I'm gonna have to cut it up. Now I don't have to do that because it's gone. All right. Okay, guys, let's have a talk. So I just got back from the community, and I got a couple of things in mind. So you can see that a lot of junk gets thrown in that community. A lot. And it gets frustrating. It gets disheartening to be constantly cleaning that up, and there's constantly more. It's disheartening to see that people will just throw garbage just everywhere, just willy-nilly. You know, it's ridiculous. And it occurred to me, I just wonder, you know, do people in Europe behave like that? Do you know, are they more orderly and clean than we are here in America? Uh, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of nice and clean places in America for sure, and I'm working on that neighborhood to make it nice and clean too. But it can get disheartening. You know, you can clean something up, and the next day there'll be an absolute mess there. I mean, you saw the video. I'm thankful that the tub is gone. I don't have to cut that up and so that it'll fit in the dumpster now. Um, I guess somebody can use it. But is that community going downhill? Is it going downhill? Is it getting worse? I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it's getting better. And part of it's my fault because when I got control of the board, I believed in the manager. I left a lot of responsibilities to the manager. I believed what they told me. They said everything was fine. Uh, I let them take responsibility for the maintenance, and they just couldn't do it. And they never told me this. Uh, they're paying people way too much to do the cleanup and just making us absolutely broke. And then when you're broke, then you can't clean anything up because you don't have any money. So that's why I took over the maintenance of the community, because I know I can do it cheaper and better. These managers, they just can't. They just can't. They don't care. The HOA manager, the management company, look, they just want to get things cleaned up and move on to the next project. And they're not watching the money. So that dumpster that you saw there, I arranged it. I arranged for that dumpster. Before that dumpster, people would just dump their stuff in that corner, and then the HOA would pay someone to come around and pick it up and clean it up and take it to the dump. And that was expensive. That was really expensive. The dumpster is about $200 a month. That's absolutely reasonable. It's well worth it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to get a second dumpster because that one just gets too full. But this kind of makes me think of a landlord that I know. Uh, he has recently sold his properties. He owned, I think, 4 properties in that community. I know him. I met him once at a board meeting. He showed up to the board meeting because he had to pay $11,000. He had to drive 4 hours away to the lawyer's office and pay $11,000. Dog, quiet. I'm making a video. Quiet. It's not my dog. But yeah, so this owner showed up, and I guess that's the first time he ever came to a board meeting. He wanted to know what's up with the board. Now, why did he have to pay $11,000? Because he never paid his dues. He never paid his dues. Dog is killing me. So yeah, he never paid his dues. His case finally got turned over to lawyers, and they finally were able to start foreclosure proceedings on his properties. And he got down to the very end, and he had to pay like right now. And the lawyers who live 4 hours away, they said, look, you can come drop us off a check, and we'll stop this foreclosure, but you need to come and do it. So that's what he did. He drove up there 4 hours, paid all his dues, paid all his late fees, $11,000 all at once to these lawyers. I don't know why he just didn't pay his dues as he went along. I mean, why? All right, so we had to move away from the dog. That's not my dog. I don't know if he was barking at me or barking at someone else. But yeah, so we had this landlord who had to drive 4 hours away and pay $11,000 to the lawyers because he never paid his dues. And it was late fee on top of late fee on top of lawyer's fee. I don't know why he didn't pay his dues. Now, this is a smart guy, all right? He owned, I think, 4 properties in the community, right? So he's one of the bigger landlords there. Another thing I know about him, he's a nurse. I know he's a nurse. Nurses can make a lot of money, especially if they're willing to work overtime. They can make a lot of money. But he never showed up to the meetings. He never ever showed up. He showed up one time because he had to pay $11,000 and he wanted to see what's up. Uh, you know, look, when you're a nurse, you have to be a responsible person. So I am very surprised that he was the type of guy that wouldn't pay his dues. And he didn't pay it for a long time. To rack up a bill of $11,000, you don't pay your dues for a long time. And how do I know nurses have to be responsible? Because guess what? I'm a nurse too. I'm a nurse too. Yeah, my regular job is working in the ICU. I'm an ICU nurse. I've been a nurse since 1996. Anyway, I didn't tell him that. um, but yeah, so now I've I haven't seen him in several years. It's been several years since he's been to the last board meeting. Several years since he's voted in any of the elections. He's never really done anything to the community. He's never done anything for the community. He doesn't vote. He doesn't show up to the meetings. He doesn't do any physical labor for the community at all. And for a long time, he didn't pay his dues because he wasn't. The only reason he started paying his dues because he was forced to, because he learned the hard way. All right, so he was trying to get away with just doing nothing, just being a landlord and just collecting money and not helping out, not doing anything for the community. And when he bought in that community, he knew there was an HOA, right? He just didn't want to pay. He just didn't want to be responsible. That's the truth. I mean, you tell me why he never voted, why he never showed up to any meetings, why he never did any labor for the community, why he didn't pay his dues for so long, why did we have to get lawyers to go after him? That puts a burden on us. We have to go get lawyers to go after these people to pay bills that they should pay. I pay my dues. I pay mine. Why can't you pay yours? I don't get it, man. And these are landlords that are all making money. But anyway, this guy, he's selling his property. He's either sold it or in the process of selling it. And the reason is he said that as far as the community goes, he sees the signs. So that means he has to sell, right? Because he sees the signs. How do I know he said this? If I haven't seen him in several years, because I know one of his renters. She told me what he said, that he's selling because he sees the signs. All right. One thing is, I know he doesn't even live in this state anymore. He's lived, I believe, in Colorado for several years now. So if he comes, he doesn't come very often. And I don't think he sees the signs. I don't think he does. How could he know the signs? He hasn't talked to the board of directors. He hasn't talked to me. I'm easy to find. He hasn't talked to me. He doesn't know where things are going. He does not know. He does not know that we have more money than ever before. He does not know that I've taken over the maintenance. He doesn't know. He has no idea. He doesn't know what plans I have for the community. He doesn't know. I will say he doesn't know. He does not know. If that's the reason he's selling his properties, then he's wrong. He's wrong. Now he may be selling his properties for other reasons. Maybe he just wants the money. Maybe he wants to retire. Maybe he doesn't want to be a landlord anymore. I don't know. But to say that the community is going downhill, I don't think so. It's not. It's better now than it was 2 years ago, now that I've taken over. So I would say he doesn't see the signs. He doesn't come. He doesn't participate. How's he going to see signs? So, if you have to sell your property because the community is going downhill, right? Then you're being forced to sell. You're selling under duress. All right. So that's not the best time to sell. The best time to sell is when things, that's just not the best time to sell. It's not. It's just not. If you have to sell under duress, that's not the way to do it. Now, I will say his properties have appreciated in price. The whole community, the whole city is appreciated in price. So, you know, I intend to hold on to my property for now because I see things going up. I see things getting better. If he sees the signs, if he thinks that the community is going downhill, which it's not, it's just not. But if he sees it going downhill, who's to blame? He is partly to blame. He never participated. He never participated in the HOA that's supposed to keep the community up to standards. Right? Whose fault is it? It's his. Plus, there was a time he made us behind $11,000 because of him. He's one of the reasons. Now he's not going to see it that way. He's going to blame it on other people. For sure. He's not going to blame it on himself. Right? When I saw the community going downhill, I said to myself, what can I do? What can I do to make things better? Instead of just blaming someone else, what can I do? And I'm having some progress. It's taken a long time. It's been a lot harder than I thought. And it is a lot harder than I thought. But I'm having success, you know. I mean, that's how it is. A lot of things in life are difficult. A lot of things that are worthwhile in life are difficult. All right, take care.